Welcome to MIJ Tech. My name is Mike, and today's video is the first in a series of videos featuring a computer build done in 2020. Note that I didn't say that I was building a computer. This build was actually done by my brother Chris as part of a project that he was working on. Hey, somebody had to hold the camera. The footage you'll be seeing is actually from 5 years ago to this day. Another interesting historical note is that this was the first footage recorded with my new camera for this channel, even though it took until now to release it. The first footage shown on my channel with my new camera appeared in the update video that I released in January 2022. During the filming of this build video, I was still in the process of learning my new camera, so there are places where the focus is a little bit off since I was using the manual focus, and the lighting and some of the angles aren't always great. And due to it being a handheld video, there's some places where it's a little bit shaky. So I'm sorry in advance if my camera work makes you sick. I'll also note that this wasn't exactly a controlled recording environment. My brother's kids were running around and making noise and playing with toys, and there were other ambient noises that were happening, but I've done my best to try to work around that. As for the build itself, keep in mind that this was recorded back in August of 2020. The parts we used then are obviously not what we would use for a new build today. In fact, a couple of the parts I wouldn't necessarily have used then, but I digress. Also, this video is not meant to be a tutorial for how to build a computer, although you may learn what to do and what not to do from watching it. I tried to let my brother get as much uninterrupted experience as possible, though sometimes I interject to guide him along. Overall, I think the build turned out fine and resulted in a functional computer. So come and join us for the journey we took to get there, as I put my brother and a Ryzen 7 3700X to work.
Seems here we have computer parts. They do things inside the computer to make it go.
Alright.
How much it does, that is not for me to do, because I am not a real professor in sciences of computers. I am simply somebody who likes them.
Well, thank you for your unprofessional opinion. Alright, so let's just go over these parts here real quick. So we have the motherboard, which is the ASUS Tough Gaming X570 Plus, if I remember correctly, if I had the box in front of me.
Yep, X570 Plus.
Oh, golly. I have a good memory sometimes.
This is stuff that came with it. I am actually not know what this stuff is.
And, yeah, there's the Wi-Fi antenna, the back plate, and I don't know what that thing is back there.
Oh.
Little stand for it.
Yeah. To stand up the antenna.
All right.
Not that it's going to be connected to Wi-Fi, because technically it's going to be connecting directly to the internet.
Mm-hmm. All right, so then we have the star of the show. We have the AMD Ryzen 7 3700X. Pretty good processor nowadays.
Yep, included with that processor, it came with the Wraith Prism thermal solution and heat sink cooling.
That thing. All right, and then we have
T-Force Vulcan Z. That's the RAM for it.
32 gigabytes. Let's see, DDR4 3000. And next to that, we have just a basic display adapter by nowadays standards.
Radeon HD 6450.
So there you go. DX11 and all its, well, I was going to say glory, but nowadays, I don't know. All right, and we have the Thermaltake Smart Series 430 watt power supply, non-modular. It's okay. Nobody's perfect. And with the mounting materials. And then we have the Cougar MX 330X. The mesh front cover, 1 5¼ drive bay external, power switch, reset switch, 2 installed USB ports, 1 USB 3, 1 USB 2, with room for additional, as well as audio ports. Room for a side mountable fan of multiple sizes there, up to, looks like 200 millimeter. And it does have one installed fan, which is 120 millimeters, with all the essential stuff on the back there. open the trash can. Because that's what we're ready for, right? Throw away all the boxes that I forgot to get unboxing footage of. No one wants to see that anyway, right? So let's get to actually building this thing. All right. Well, first thing I might do is to prep the motherboard. So we'll go ahead and unpackage that.
Protective casing. Meant to keep the computer completely safe from harm and drive you completely nuts while trying to get it out.
Yep, exactly.
That's not working.
Yeah, it shouldn't be so difficult, I would think.
Oh, that's why some of the pegs back here have poked through the packaging.
Oh, it's holding it in.
And once I figure that out, it comes out nice and easy.
All right, let's take a look at that. All right, there's your ASUS Tough Gaming X570 Plus with Wi-Fi. All right, so CPU now. So just a couple questions for you here while you're in the midst of trying to focus on this. How many computer builds have you actually done?
Personally, myself, where I've done the actual building itself, one. But I've also assisted with getting another computer built up for it, which was my first computer build that actually got built, which was the assistance of yours truly here, followed by one where I started working on everything else on my own, just trying to get things done, trying to learn things as myself. And then here I am going again to an expert, trying to make sure that this is built right.
You're very kind to call me an expert.
Closest thing to an expert I know.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your overall computer ability and knowledge?
I'd put myself at around a bit of 5. I know enough to get the work done, but I definitely have plenty of room to expand.
Yep. Hey, me too. I mean, I might be more like a 7, but... All right, so let's get that CPU in the motherboard here. All right. All right, oh, one thing you're forgetting there.
I am?
Yeah. Lift the lever.
Ha.
You had everything else right.
I'm guessing that holds it in place.
Yep. So that's different compared to some other newer types of processors where they actually have the pins built into the motherboard, which is its own challenge. And they'll have protective covers for that. Let's go ahead and get the RAM in. We've got those different colored slots there. It's sometimes a mystery to me whether you're supposed to put each one in different ones or each one in the same ones. This is where a motherboard manual comes in handy sometimes. All right. Do they have the slots labeled?
DIMM B1, B2, A1, A2. It does show in the picture for putting one inside the A2 star, two into the A2 star, B2 star, or all 4 into all of them. So that is the recommending for its placements on them.
Okay. All right.
So based off of that, we are looking at...
You're doing A2 and B2, huh?
Yep. Which would be the dark gray ones, not the black ones.
So I didn't see, does it have levers on both sides or just one?
Just levers on the one side for it.
Okay.
Looks like for trying to stick this one in, what you're looking to do, you're just sliding in the one side to get it initiated. So you can then, oh, no, I guess you can do it on top. This is why I say I'm a 5. No, that's not in.
So I'll give you some inside knowledge, and this will show up once I actually... as of the time of recording this, I haven't released the actual footage of me turning on my computer for the first time. But the one thing that I discovered when I did is that my memory was not seated properly.
And as soon as these ones got pushed in, the levers did snap back up into place.
All right, so we got the memory in now. Let's go ahead and get that SSD slotted in there.
Now, this is where I am going to be at a loss because I have zero experience with SSDs.
All right. So typically what you want to do with an SSD is to install it in the port that's closest to your CPU.
I'm guessing it's this spot right here.
Yep.
Okay, so this kind of hovers in that spot then.
Yeah. And then you're going to have a screw that holds it down. Did this
All
come
right.
with the SSD?
The motherboard.
Oh, the
I think.
motherboard.
Might have been the SSD.
No.
I guess it was
I'm
the motherboard.
glad we're keeping track of all this.
I mean, I tried to put everything next to each other.
It's all good.
Yeah, slide it in the top spot there? Like
yeah,
right
see,
there?
yeah, slide it in at about a 30-degree angle, and then push it down. Yeah, you have these little standoffs, and then you have the screw that'll go into the standoff. So you have to first get the standoff in the motherboard.
As I lose the screw in the motherboard.
Yep.
Go me.
Yeah, that's all too common. Yep. And then just tight enough. Oh, hey, you probably want a screwdriver too, I imagine.
I heard they're helpful.
Because that'll be harder than trying to do the standoff. All right. All right.
As tight as those screwdrivers are going to get it.
All right. Well, there you go. You've installed your very first SSD. Congratulations.
Woo! Let's hope it does what everyone tells me it's going to.
I don't think you'll be disappointed. All right. So that only thing left, I would say, at this point is CPU cooler. And our motherboard will be ready. So it has pre-applied thermal paste. We'll want to be careful that we don't interfere with that. The way this should work is those clips should clip onto each side where you see in the motherboard there.
Okay.
There's the screws on those little mounts. Yeah, so that's probably a good orientation for that.
Secure it or push it down?
You hook it and then you pull it over to get the tension on it. So just pull it around. Yeah, and don't worry about feeling like you're going to break it. As long as everything is mounted properly, then it should be able to withstand the force.
Yep, both hooks are in place.
So just go ahead and pull it all the way over. Might take a bit of force. Hopefully not too much.
There we go.
All right, that sounded good. All right, so I think our motherboard is now ready. Something else I wanted to take a look at here. This is something you haven't seen for a while on motherboards, is having fans on the chipsets. They haven't really needed them until X570.
Yeah, and I know my last PC build had it on its motherboard as well.
So speaking of the other computer builds, about how long ago were those?
The last computer build was about at least 5 or 6 years ago, the last one that I actually built.
Mm-hmm.
One major difference between the two of them. So I used ASUS motherboards for both of them. However, the previous one, I had an Intel processor.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a new experience because this is my first AMD that I've ever used for trying to set up a computer with.
Well, and although I remember that you have used an AMD processor before, because I have the evidence of that upstairs, but as far as building a computer, this is your first AMD processor that you've used.
Yes, next is figuring out where this thing goes.
All right, let's see where they have.
I think it's one of those.
I think so.
Or one of those.
Yeah, they have it labeled on the silk screen here. So I think the one on
CPU
your left
fan,
is going to be
CPU
fan.
opt. Okay.
So the other one would be, for example, if you had a extra fan in your case you needed to power, or some of them can also be used for liquid cooling water blocks to operate the pumps.
Okay. Yep. I see the ones over here. Fan 1 and pump.
Okay, so I guess they have it over there. All right, so that concludes our motherboard preparation. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and prep your case. So let's see about getting that opened up.
If you've liked what you've seen so far, then go ahead and leave a like for this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already if you want to see more content like this. Leave a comment below and let me know what some of your experiences have been building computers. I'm hoping to have part 2 of this video out in the next few days here, but until then, this has been MIJ Tech. My name is Mike. Thank you for watching. After seeing all of this, do you trust me to build your computer? Don't answer that.